How's it going, folks? Jack here with another reaction. It's been a minute since we checked out something from Martincitopants channel, and I stumbled on one, or actually, not quite stumbled. I got flooded with recommendation both on live stream and of course on the Discord to check out some stuff from his Just Cause videos. Just Cause 1, 2, 3, and I might be the only fool in this world to enjoy the fourth one, are some of my favorite games of all times, because they quite simply have like the best movement mechanic, the grappling, the wingsuit, and of course the shit that you can do with the parachute. I know that a lot of people like to clown on the fourth one because it doesn't add too much to what the third already established, and of course changes the voice actor. But personally, I kind of like it, especially with the whole tornado wilding out. So I think it's a good game. But that being said, though, Just Cause 3 is still a favorite. And well, this video that Martin has is him completing 100% of the game and calling it a terrible mistake. I have never tried to do a 100% completion challenge, and knowing him, he did it on a live stream. Oof. Anyways, let's witness the pain.
Hello. I spent over 20 hours on stream speedrunning Just Cause 3. It was quite tough. It tested my patience, my endurance, and my willingness to sacrifice my own personal well-being to obliterate public infrastructure. Our wonderful destination for today is Medici, home of scenic cliffs, bright blue water, giant caves, a horribly oppressive totalitarian government, and me, psychopathic rope guy. Today, I've challenged myself to totally demolish this government as fast as humanly possible. But
the thing that I appreciate a lot about 4th, okay, I know that I'm bringing that game a lot and some of you might be pissed by it by now, but is that it adds a bit more complexity to the level design. So it feels more like real, despite... Like, it feels more real because a lot of the areas in the third one were kind of plain. So yeah, I appreciate that.
But I'm not just here to destroy the government. I'm going to liberate every town on the map, collect all the collectibles, complete every single challenge, finish the story, and get this big number to 100%. So, let us begin. Alright, time. Let us begin, gentlemen. We began our adventure on a plane, and were introduced to the main protagonists, Rico, Mario, Sheldor, the Rebellion, and the rocket launcher. And then the antagonists, the military, General D. Ravello, and public goods. I fucking hate bridges! So, what was the plan? I don't know, just liberate...
Never let this man play Death Stranding.
I didn't really have much of a plan. What I did know, however, was that some missions are harder than others, and after 15 plus hours of Just Cause 3, I would probably not be in a good state.
No.
So, I came up with a solution. The difficulty gradient. The most difficult things would be done at the start of the speedrun when I was fresh, and the least difficult things would be done last. Okay. The main idea was to quickly unlock this OP wingsuit, which is a jetpack, machine gun, and infinite rocket launcher. This wingsuit would make the rest of the game much easier. But first, we needed to unlock it. So, we completed the first 2 story missions, liberated the Visa Electra military base, and started the 3rd mission.
It's part of that Sky thing DLC, right? Basically the hell carrier from the Avengers that you need to assault, and then you get access to.
Where I failed. Oh fuck. No! No! No, Mario! Oh my god. Twice. Oh! No, no, fuck! That's a very solid 5-minute time loss. Great job. Next, we decided to slow things down a little bit and collect some cars. In every town, there's a garage. If you place a vehicle in a garage, it's chopped, and can be dropped to you at any time. Magic. To complete the game, we needed to chop every single vehicle. So we went and chopped some vehicles.
Quite literally.
The next story mission was very easy.
What the hell?
All we had to do was get this guy's boat back in the water. So I did this. Rico, saving the day, yet again.
God, the physics in this game.
This mission unlocked fast travel, which we immediately used to fast travel right into the endgame base.
Nice.
Spooky. We weren't going to do anything at this base, but it was very close to the start of the DLC missions, which would unlock the OP wingsuit. So that's what we did, and we unlocked the OP wingsuit.
I thought... Oh, yeah, that's true. You have to chase that drone. I completely forgot how it was that you got access to it. I just remembered that somehow Shelton calls you and then it gets you involved in one more of his shenanigans and you end up making up to the skybase, and that was when you got access to it. Well, it's also because I'm kind of traumatized by the wingsuit mission on the DLC. Yeah, those aren't fun.
Visited the flying thing, shot all the red objects, finished all the challenges, and upgraded the wingsuit with the gears from said challenges. Very nice.
Nice.
The DLC mission wasn't quite done yet, so we finished it and died again. I can't even move! We've got our OP wingsuit. What's next on the agenda? More difficult missions. Laguna Blast. There it is. All right, we're gonna do this as soon as possible, so that my sleep-deprived brain doesn't have to deal with it.
That could be a good name for a game assault. Laguna
This
Blast.
mission is a crash bomb mission where you drive an explosive-laden vehicle directly into a group of military personnel.
Of course.
Because, you know, we're the good guys. So you gotta drive pretty much perfectly. You gotta drive this line as perfectly as possible, because if you lose any speed like that, then you gotta ditch the road, right, and drive this way onto the grass, over this part, down the beach, and then you have to bail out at the exact moments that you don't die, like that. So we fail it non-stop for about 15 minutes, but then discover this beautiful rock. Oh, that's good.
Got him.
Oh! It's fucking good! Excellent. And there we go. The hardest mission in the game is completed. In my excitement, I forget to record and lose 40 minutes of footage.
Oh,
Fuck.
come
Oh, we're
on.
not recording. Good one. The next hour of the speedrun, I spent collecting collectibles, completing challenges, and acquiring the Formula 1 car, capable of easily beating almost any race in the game. Now sure, this was all getting us more completion, but it was very easy, and not something I should have been doing this early in the run.
Yeah,
it's hard to
one of
quantify
the
exactly how
difficult
much
ones.
time I was losing through this approach, but it was probably pretty significant.
Also, when you need to liberate every base, shouldn't he have... Oh, wait. When do you access the nuke launcher? Is it later in the game? It's part of the DLC, isn't it? That thing is beautiful.
Now remember, we needed to collect all the vehicles, which also includes...
Boats.
boat. So we went and collected some boat. You're mine. The next story mission was a real shit one. You have to take this truck filled with barrels of wine and drive it about 1.5 kilometers without spilling any of it. So naturally, I began the mission like this.
Great.
Did I just fail the mission? The answer is yes. And then, regular occurrences, you know?
Just slow down. Just slow down.
Are you fucking kidding me? After yet another hour of completing random small shit, we moved on to the Mech Land Assault DLC and Lacrima Island. Or as I later referred to it, more like Piss Island. Got him. Piss Island is part of the Mech Land Assault DLC, which as you can imagine, has mech suits.
Get him out of it though.
To complete the island, we need to liberate all the bases, do the story, and complete the mech suit challenges. Now, liberating bases is normally the best part of Just Cause 3. All you need to do is just blow shit up, and you win. It's great. So how about instead of doing that, we scatter a bunch of small, annoying-ass objects all over the place and make them have buttons on them that you need to walk up to and push. Also, they are painted red, so they look exactly the same as everything else. Then after you've done all that, you've got to release this little dickhead by pressing E and then waiting 5 seconds, and then going here and pressing E and then waiting another 5 seconds, who then causes this bar to appear called Hold the Fort. How does one hold the fort? I don't know. The bar seems to go up when you kill guys, so you sit around blasting dudes for like 5 minutes, and then you're done. It's the same thing with police stations on the main islands, but if the entire settlement was a police station.
Yeah.
Not fun. Anyway, we liberate all the settlements and move on to the mech suit challenges, which are actually pretty fun, but...
So by doing that, he never ever freed any of the prisoners and just straight up killed them. Classic Mart.
they take a long time. Enemies come in waves and must be killed with your mech. The challenge itself is pretty easy, but doing it fast is what we're here for. Unfortunately, the big fat plane comes in and drops 15 parachutey boys at the back who float down at a massive 2 kilometers per hour. Dickheads. Finally, the story missions on the island. After liberating everything, we go to this place, shoot some stuff, kill some stuff, and then run away. Please.
Plane
please,
surfing.
Please. Please, Rico. Please! Rico, no. Okay. Excellent. We've completed Piss Island in about an hour. Not amazing, but also not terrible. While we're at it, we might as well do the other DLC, the Bavarium Sea Heist. Once again, there's a special area outside the main islands called the Stingray area. No stingrays though. It's basically just a bunch of platforms in the sea in close-ish proximity. On the outer platforms are our favorite red objects, and the inner platform has this crazy weather manipulation shit that just kills you instantly. Wonderful. To begin our heist, we need a vehicle. A seaworthy vehicle. Perhaps even boat. So we go find this plane, jump into it, shoot this container out the back, jump on the boat, drive it back to base, and stick a bunch of guns to it. Before I get on with destroying the Stingray area stuff, I get sidetracked and do a bunch more stuff that I shouldn't have been doing. In doing so, I find this little car that I haven't yet chopped on this island. How they got this car here is a mystery, but how I'm getting it off here is not. So I pick it up, fly it to the big city's garage, and then do this. Ooh!
No.
Oh my god. Ah! Pain. Suffering. Agony. Naturally, I don't want to look at that little shit of a car again, and I forget about it. I'm sure this won't come back at an inopportune time to ruin something important.
It will.
Instead, I go to this boat race and fail it several times in a row. Fuck! Finally, I snap back to my senses and get on with the Stingray area. I get our lovely boat and use its copious amount of missiles and bullets to blow up all the bases. Now, I think it's important to note here that this particular boat isn't actually required for destroying these platforms. You can actually do that in any vehicle. I didn't know this, however, so I wasted a bunch of time by boating around and shooting stuff from the water when I could have easily used a helicopter or jet. Once all the platforms were liberated, we could begin the heist. The thing we are heisting is this, the Eden Spark. Quite a nice weapon. To get past the pesky lightning insta-kill shit and through to the big base in the middle, we'd need to use the cool boat. Now, let me remind everyone of why Just Cause 3 is great. 1. The parachute and wingsuit.
Yeah.
So much freedom and movement, and the movement is really fast and nice. And 2. The beautiful open world map. Heaps of stuff to explore and fly around. So how about we cram Rico into a tight enclosed space with branching corridors, no room to fly, and filled with dickheads and This place sucks. Worse, we need to find these things.
I mean, it's short though,
to get completion, which have been hidden very, very well. Not fun. After a while, we get to the end and get the Eden Spark. A very diplomatic and eloquent tool that... Then after 10 minutes of fucking around in the small enclosed spaces, I realized that the game had soft-locked me from finishing the mission, and I had to restart.
Oh.
Thank you, Just Cause. Hey, look at that. We're 10 hours in. And look at what we have here. A plane that is also a boat. Now, because this game is fun, one of the many items needed for completion are these. Stunt jump ramps. You get a car and go.
He's just gonna kill them.
Bye-bye. To help us, we've enlisted the bravest soldier in the rebellion. Balaclava Boy. At this point, I was starting to feel it. 10.5 hours in, and my mind was filled with explosions, cars, aircraft, and going fast. In this state, my decision-making was steadily getting worse. At 10 hours 36 minutes, I did this race and finished it with 5 gears. Only problem was, I'd already done this race.
Oh, okay. Waste of time.
I already did this one. What is wrong with me? And it completely wasted my time. The cracks were beginning to form. As you can hear, I sounded almost drunk. Hey, I got one of the cars from the Daredevil jump. Boy! A few minutes later, in keeping with my apparent intoxication, I proceeded to do this. How good. What a deal. Oh no. Oh no. The church repairs, they were going so well. As the weight of playing Just Cause 3 for 11 hours bared down on me stronger, I suffered yet another smooth brain moment with these 3 generator things. I thought that they could only be destroyed with explosives, but for some reason mine weren't working. Turns out you can just shoot the sides and they explode. So yet again, I wasted several minutes.
Conventional weaponry always works.
Went fine, but its premise was incredibly fucking stupid. Rico and his buds had to drive in a convoy all the way over to these 4 tanks. Once at the tanks, they would activate an EMP to destroy them all. But I could have just blown them up. Like, what? So we spent 10 minutes standing on the top of a car while it slowly and painfully drove to something I could have just flown to and destroyed.
I mean, they want to help.
To redeem myself, I then spent a bit of time flying around in a jet blowing shit up. This was great, and actually served to move the game along pretty quickly. But eventually it died. Bye-bye, jet. And I spent another few minutes blowing shit up with the OP wingsuit until this happened. Oh, no. Fuck! I even stumbled across this thing. The most powerful vehicle in the entire game. A helicopter with a big rocket launcher, shield, and generally fast demeanor.
It's the one that you can get in gold,
about 3
right?
minutes in it until it died. Nice. Our next mission involved some international diplomacy. Rico had to blah. This mission has an annoying glitch where you can't lock onto the enemy aircraft, which are significantly faster than you. So they fly ahead and blow her up. Piss. I restarted the game and the mission went smoothly. What I did not know, however, was that there is a limit of missiles that can be in the game at any given time, and by spamming missiles when the enemy aircraft were flying by, they just wouldn't be able to shoot. But I didn't know this. Now, the Just Cause series isn't known for its realism, but they are very, very loosely based on a real-world operation by the United States called Operation Just Cause. Of course, in real life, there wasn't some guy flying around in a wingsuit performing guerrilla warfare on behalf of the US government. At least as far as we know. But it was a real operation. Quick history lesson. All the way back in 1914, the US had just finished building this land, the Panama Canal, which allowed shipping traffic to go from here to here, rather than from here, and then all the way around here. As one can imagine, it was quite strategically important. Fast forward a few decades, and our boy Jimmy signed a treaty with the de facto leader of Panama, military dictator General Omar
Torrijos, yes. This guy, I know a little bit about. He was a farmer before he did like that coup d'etat to get into leadership. But I'm gonna let Mart finish, but I think that it's important for you to get a little bit of the background knowledge when it comes to the Panama Canal, because I think it's kind of hilarious how it came to be. I did make a presentation on the Panama Canal in high school, and it was pretty good. So I have a little bit of background knowledge when it comes to this. Essentially, we have to go back to the 1800s, like 1880, around that time. There's this French guy, because obviously French, so that's why I chose this topic. A guy called Ferdinand de Lesseps, right, in 1880, who was more or less responsible, not more or less, he was the guy, the engineer responsible for the Suez Canal in Egypt. You know, that the wonderful stretch that is responsible for propagating the English imperialism for like half of a century. Yeah, that dude, he did that, and he was very proud of that project. And so when there was a demand for a new route to be established in the middle of America, he was one of the very few to raise his hands up and being like, yeah, I can do this. I've already done the Suez Canal. It was like 190 so-ish meters, and Panama, which is only like 80, I can handle that. And he couldn't quite handle that, because once he arrived to Panama, he had this assistant called Adolphe Godin, who was yet another smart Frenchman, who told him, "Non, ça va pas marcher." Ferdinand was like, "Why not?" To which he replied, "Egypt is freaking flat. Sure, it was 190 meters that you could handle there, but this one neither has the water level in the right place, but it's filled with mountains. How are you going to do this? Are you going to dig everything down to water level?" Ferdinand was like, Of course. So the man hired tens of thousands of poor workers who had to go deep rock galactic mode in Panama and dig for years. And most of them died of mosquito bites and malaria and so on and so forth. And it didn't amount to anything. Like once he finally realized that, oh, my plan is kind of dumb. Every single time that I keep digging, the rocks keep falling back down. Like he didn't have a good way to excavate the rocks. And of course, diseases were plaguing his workers. Once he decided that, okay, perhaps it might be a good idea to listen to that other guy, fundings had run out and it was a flop. The project was bad, it went down to the drain. And yeah, obviously the story doesn't end here, because the Americans came into play with especially one dude, Teddy, I'm a man, Roosevelt. I am calling him that because over the last few months I've been trying to read through the biography of Nikola Tesla, and when Tesla came to France and started working there, he was adopting a Rooseveltian method of living, where he would be running laps around lakes in Paris and stuff like that, because yeah, Theodore Roosevelt was truly a man's man. So yeah, he was pretty much into physical activity. But that has absolutely nothing to do with the story at hand. But America is the early 1900s, and Theodore Roosevelt is observing how it is that his country is like acquiring and creating new territories overseas by annexing some places, creating war with Spain and dominating new places. And he's like, it's time to eat. They too started to make their own canal. Now, the French came into the picture again, or more specifically, one French guy whose name I cannot remember for the life of me. But he went to the Americans because he was observing what they were doing and was like, guys, the place where you're digging right now is not quite what you expect it to be. This is Nicaragua, and over there they have volcanoes. And Americans were like, seriously? He was like, yeah, those volcanoes are about to erupt and they're going to ruin your project. Now, this dude was lying, but his silver tongue was apparently so good that he managed to convince the Americans to cease their efforts, and because he too was an engineer, he convinced them to take the efforts over to Panama and work with him. The problem was just that the Panamanians at the time were not independent. They were very much reliant or a part of Colombia at the time. So they needed to have a smart plan. Now, this wonderful Frenchman who managed to lie to the Americans and get them on his side decided to lie to the Panamanians as well, who elected him as one of their representatives so that he could make a treaty, the Treaty of Panama, with the Americans, who then sent their boats starting to threaten Colombia and said, guys, you better give us this country right now, or... So they just gave the Panamanian their independence to avoid a war. And that's pretty much how the Panama Canal started to be built. Theodore Roosevelt was posing for pictures, and some 60 years after the project has started, trouble started happening, obviously.
The wind of change is blowing half a gale in the Panama Canal zone. Americans had to defend themselves as students and other rioters demanded an end of the 61-year-old Canal Zone Treaty with the United States.
And President Jimmy, I'ma stop global warming by wearing a cardigan, Carter, decided to help them along to get the country back. And that's pretty much where we got to the point of Mart's video. Yeah. It's a wonderful tale of just one fucking French dude who managed to lie to everybody and just went back to France and had a swell time. Yeah, the French, the French are crazy. Basically showed up to the country and was like, have you guys heard of the French Revolution? And Theodore Roosevelt was smelling that idea, was like, oh, did you just say revolution? We have one of those in America.
Panama administrative control of the canal by the year 2000. Well, isn't that nice of it? It had some conditions, however. 1, they could keep their military bases there, and 2, the canal would remain open for American shipping. But then, our boy Omar died and was replaced with another military dictator, General Noriega. Now he was a bit of a naughty boy. Relations between him and the US started off well, but quickly worsened, which wasn't helped by him being connected to drug trafficking. The US didn't like this.
Of course not.
And then he shifted his allegiance away from the US and towards the Soviet bloc. The US didn't like this. And then he lost an election and went, nope. The US didn't like this. All of this had the US worried that the canal wouldn't remain neutral and would be seized by General Noriega. So they sent a bunch of troops over, just in case. Noriega didn't like this.
The one thing that I can note about the Panama Canal is that it is one wonderful piece of engineering that they made all the way back in the early 1900s. Because it's elevating the boat. Like, instead of the plan that our French friend Ferdinand was trying to do by just digging things down to water level, which would have been the equivalent of erasing 26 meters of mountain ranges. That's wild in height, and for 80 kilometers wide, that's fucking insane. They decided instead to flood the place and make these gates in form of dams to raise the boats to a 26-meter height, so that the boats could just pass over that stretch and get into the Pacific Ocean. Fucking genius. Like, he should have just listened to the first French dude in the beginning.
Finally, the Panamanian General Assembly declared war on the United States. The US... Oh, they actually really like that one.
War.
The US did their thing, seized back control of the canal, blew up some shit, and forced Noriega into the Vatican embassy where the US wasn't allowed to go. So they set up a fuckload of speakers and blasted rock music across the embassy until he surrendered a month later.
Pain.
The UN was all like, no, don't do that, and concluded the invasion was, quote, a gross violation of international law.
Right.
Abdul would be so proud. Nice. Speaking of nice.
Nice.
Hey, boys! Funny number. The speedrun was going well, but 14.5 hours in, I was starting to lose challenges by incredibly thin margins. This was beginning to take a psychological toll. At 15 hours in, I was beginning to become delirious. So I immediately went and lost another 40 minutes of footage. It's alright though, I got Mr. Snowman on camera, so it's all good.
Snowman.
So, we meet again, Mr. Snowman.
My motivation, however, was not waning. And after another quick visit from Balaclava Boy, my spirits were up.
Goodbye.
So the next thing I did was drive a school bus packed with high explosives into another military checkpoint.
Whoa. Into Keanu Reeves meme right now. For those of you who understand that reference, you're awesome.
You know, as good guys do. Our next great challenge was this. A boat. This boat, which needed to be delivered to a garage and chopped. The thing is, this boat only spawns right here. And right here happens to be in a lake with no route to the sea. This was not good. My first delivery attempt involved a helicopter, which I'd done before. But after 16 hours of Just Cause 3, I simply couldn't do it. A viewer in chat suggested picking it up with a mech suit, so I dropped a mech suit in, went to mark the nearest garage, and fast traveled to it.
No!
Fuck! It's alright.
Yeah.
It's okay.
He's in a
Sure
rush.
this won't happen again. Right?
Fuck.
After another 10 minutes, I finally get a mech, mark the garage, pick up the boat, and get it chopped. And I only wasted 15 minutes.
Deep vein thrombosis, DVT, occurs.
At 17.5 hours, I came to my senses a bit and started bombing stuff with the bomber plane instead of the fighter plane.
Now that's much better, actually. Yeah.
It turns out
wider
this was
area of
actually
impact.
a smart decision, and the bombs made quick work of many small outposts. At 18 hours, I found the car with the highest top speed in the game, and instead of flying it to a garage, I took the scenic route and drove across the rail line. Definitely lost some time there, but it was fun. 15 minutes later, I began on the second last mission in the game. I didn't really care about the mission itself, but afterwards, I unlocked the nuke launcher. So I equipped it.
One of these.
Let's go.
I'm sure this immense power will definitely not cause problems later. A few minutes after that, I began on the hardest wingsuit challenges in the game. Normally I would find these pretty
are the
difficult,
worst.
but after 18 hours straight of Just Cause 3, they were close to impossible.
Pull up. Oh.
Yeah. Alright, I did a flip. At 19 hours, I could see light on the horizon.
Alright, standing up. Oh, there's the sun.
Oh, IRL.
Not the game. The end was in sight. But before that, I had to fail a bunch more wingsuit courses.
Ah! Are you fucking serious? No. Oh my god. Oh, thank God. Woo! Here we go.
My motivation was running at an all-time high. And right before I thought it couldn't get any better, Balaclava Boy returned for the final time.
Poor guys.
We'd been collecting dubs left and right, but I was still delirious.
Oh, there
In
it
that
is.
state, someone donated $60, which made this sound.
The fuck is that? What is that? Oh, that scared the shit out of me.
Understandably, I was quite freaked out.
Why is it like that? Why is it like that?
At this point, the game was thinning out a lot, and the remaining items were getting more and more difficult to locate. Firstly was a church that I just couldn't find. I guess that this was karma for ruining the church repairs. Next up was the mining dump truck. Now this vehicle is very heavy, so being careful not to flip it is important. And I flipped it.
I mean, you got the tethers.
Next
Perhaps
was the
you can
school bus
flip
that
it.
we've been filling
Yeah.
with high explosives.
Somewhat down
I actually found one,
Whoa, 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 whoa.
but then did this.
No!
Ah!
Okay,
damn
too
it.
much power.
It's okay though, 10 minutes later I found it again. But it wasn't the right bus. Wrong bus. Wait, wrong bus. What the fuck? And then I found it for real and chopped it. And there we go. As far as I knew, this was the last item I needed. So I traveled to the top of the map and began the final mission. Only to realize that I forgot the stupid fucking car on the island. Ah! It's alright though. All I had to do was get a helicopter.
He came
Mark
back
the
batting
garage.
him.
No, fuck!
He's breaking down. Okay, take 2.
They're becoming the Joker slowly. Come on. Don't smash it.
Oh my god. Fuck, 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 fuck. There we go. Oh my god.
I was getting a bit too angsty there, thinking that the heli was going to crash down on the car and destroy it.
It's fine, guys. Really, I mean, I'm okay. It's fine. It's fine. I'm okay. I started the final mission again, flew into the volcano, dropped in a mech, and am I just gonna be able to one-hit him? Gimme.
Oh shoot!
No way! Oh my god, it's that easy. It's that easy. It's that easy. Oh my god. Bam! That's time, baby! Let's go! And there we have it, boys.
Game over.
Just Cause 3 completed in 20 hours, 9 minutes, and 40 seconds. A new world record. Because no one has ever done it before. Believe me, I checked. But you know what? I can do better. At many points in the speedrun, I lost quite a bit of time. Some mistakes were small and inconsequential, while others were larger and more structural. I think you get where I'm going with this. That's right, boyos. Next Sunday, I'll fucking do it again. That's Sunday the 20th of June, 2021. For people living in Europe and America, it'll probably start Saturday evening. The goal here is to beat the current world record, set by me, and try to get the time down to under 18 hours. Also, the full VOD for both streams is on my Martincitopants VODs channel, so go and watch the whole thing there if you want. So gentlemen, be there, or be square. Till next time.
Oh, he's finally done with... I would love to do 100% of Just Cause 4. Just one of the days when I am literally by my lonesome. That would be great. The only issue with this is that you literally cannot check your leaderboard in 4 because Square freaking Enix is screwing Avalanche. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. As always, please do make sure to go and subscribe to Martincitopants, and perhaps we'll be doing a Just Cause 4 on stream. The plan is actually so next week, around that time, I will be doing some Hitman gameplay, so if you want to check that out during the stream, that would be great. And well, time and everything will be put on the channel's community page. Anyways, guys, have a wonderful day. See you guys for the next one. Bye.